What's going on, everybody? So this is one of those videos where this is going to be an absolute big mistake or just I don't even know. If this is so happens to be your first time checking me out on the channel, welcome. Uh, I don't expect many people to watch this video because I'm about to get really fucking deep right here. And I know there's probably gonna be a handful of people that's probably even gonna give a damn. But I'm only doing this video because I want my subscribers and I want people that may potentially subscribe to me to know more about who they're subscribing to. And I'm also asking for help. I'm asking for help in the sense of channel memberships. And I will circle back around to that. But I want people to understand whenever you hear about raw and authentic people on YouTube, yeah, I want to give some of you a glimpse into who I am. So currently, right now, I'm 45 years old. I live alone here in Brooklyn, and things have been touch and go. I decided to do this YouTube thing with intent. I'd say August 23rd was like the first video I posted to this channel. So the apartment that I'm currently in, full disclosure, I'm on a housing voucher, and it's under City FEPS. And so I've been homeless on three separate occasions, and I had to survive on the streets of New York City. The first time was very rough. I will admit I actually cried because I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. But I made a way thanks to some of my family that I have left. Very, very few friends. I managed to get through. But I would eventually find a place, which is where I'm at right now, but it was not without struggle. I was in the shelter system, which was something I really wanted to avoid. But even going further back, you may or may not have heard me mention that I lost out on a good woman. I met an angel of a woman March 30th, 2015. I'll just say her name is Nancy. I fucked that situation up. I was battling a lot of demons, personal demons. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back ultimately was I ended up becoming an alcoholic sometime around toward the end of 2019, I believe. And it was just it was wild. I've since battled that and I'm in a much better place now. But at that time, I ruined an angel of a woman, and I believe that every struggle that I have now and moving forward is basically a punishment. At least that's the way I look at it. But anyway, getting back to the whole homeless thing, yeah, so I ended up going into the shelter, I would say around 2023. And so I'm going to share my screen because people talk about raw and authentic content. Well, this is it right here. So in this particular video, HRA wanted me to itemize my storage, whatever. I honestly didn't really know what the hell they were getting on after, but I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just go and do it. So I recorded a little video that I sent to my social worker at the time, and I'm going to play it here for the world to see, I guess. And yeah. I really don't know about this whole itemize my storage business, but this is my unit, 6464. So let's take a peek inside, right? Obviously, this was before I got my apartment. I feel like this is like an episode of MTV Cribs or something. So let's take the phone off this thing. So as you can see, hopefully you can see there is nothing of furniture in here. There's a TV. Um, there's a couple of cooling units here. I bought that from Target for like
maybe $20, $30. Some suitcase luggage, a video game console, video game, um, video game stuff in this Tupperware. So there's nothing really in here that's beds or couches or anything like that. But I'm gonna take the stuff out and I'll take some screenshots. But for now, this is again hopefully a good look. Really is nothing in here of any kind of note. Like I said, no beds, no couches, no bed frames, no nothing. But yeah, so I'll take this stuff out and take some shots.
So I think at that time, they wanted to make sure that I didn't have any furniture or whatever. It was kind of wild at the time. Like I said, it was like my first time even going through any of this. So yeah, so I end up taking the stuff out, and I just all I kept thinking was I just wanted to get into my apartment before Christmas because I spent 2023. I spent that Thanksgiving in the in my shelter, and eventually, what would end up happening is I did not get this apartment until after Christmas. I actually spent Christmas in the shelter as well because there was some issue with the paperwork. So yeah, I'm basically, like I said, I'm basically showing all this because I want people to understand who you are subscribing to, who Red Related is. I'm a guy that I have a lot of opinions on things, and I've always said if you have an opinion, you have content. I'm a huge gamer. I've been a gamer since I've been 5 years old, and that was 1985. My mom, make her rest her soul, I lost her when I was 13 years old. She died in her sleep thanks to a bleeding ulcer. She was bleeding internally. It's it's still hard to talk about it even now when I'm 45 years old because I feel like whatever fate, whatever God, I don't even know if I can't even speak to that. Let me just scratch it off. But I was so angry. So whatever fate had in store for me, I felt died with her. So I felt like I missed out on a lot of key lessons growing up as a kid who lost his mom at the age of 13. And at the time, my father dealing with his grief, I didn't really understand it. And also just to put it out there, yes, I'm biracial. My mom, she was German Scottish. My father is Black and Cherokee Indian. He was I would say, a very proud Black man. Fought in the Marine Corps in the Korean War with honors, graduated with honor. I mean, not but discharged with honors. Excuse me. But under his DD 214, they have him listed as a Negroid, which is something he always wanted to change. He wrote letters to Washington trying to petition. He used to say, just call me Black, call me African American. And he used to say, what the hell is a Negroid? So I guess he felt at the time, because I'm going to be going all over the place with this video. Fuck it. This is just about me and anybody who wants to listen. So, but yeah, he just said, look, it doesn't sit well with me. But unfortunately, he ended up passing when I was 31 years old. Ironically, it was my first and last time to final round. It was my first time going to the Tekken tournament. During that time, I was debating on whether I wanted to still go. No, actually, wait a second. No, I think I went to final round the year after because it was, yeah, okay, never mind. Because it was several years ago. It was 2013. So yeah, I was going to go to final round, but my father had passed away like a week before I was set to go. So yeah, I ended up going to final round the following year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, it was definitely a blow to me hearing the "Are you the son of blah blah blah?" And even though my father and I we didn't have the best relationship, but I like to think that Even though he lost his ability to speak, after suffering 2 strokes, I felt that he still knew who I was, and we had a moment together. But yeah, getting back to when I was 13 and my mom passed away, it was rough. And growing up, I felt like I missed out on a lot of key lessons growing up. I dropped out of high school. I eventually would get my GED, but it was after a number of years. I tried finding work. I kept getting the bullshit of, oh, we'll keep you on file, and also the bullshit. Even though I knew in many cases I was the better qualified applicant, I just felt like the world just had it out for me. So now we fast forward, I end up getting this, what I would, later learn to be this amazing woman. And March 30th, 2015, I screwed that up. And then eventually I lose, I get kicked out of a place I was at. But that's a whole different story. I don't want to get into that one. But suffice to say, I ended up getting into the shelter program. I had no idea what to expect. I was ashamed of myself because I realized I had fucked up. So here I am. Thankfully, the shelter, I was right on Atlantic and Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. Basically, some people refer to it as the castle because like really massive. The dorms usually hold about 30 to 40 people, I think. Thankfully, it was only me and 2 other guys in there, and my bed was toward the back of the room, so I was kind of by myself, which was great. Then eventually I got shifted to my permanent shelter on Rockaway Avenue. At least that's the train stop. So I was over in that area, and I made it my mission to find work. I mean, not find work, but find an apartment the minute I got my voucher, and I ended up getting here. So yeah, but the voucher is basically good for about 5 years. So I thought, or my thinking was, you know what? I don't have a fancy college degree. The chances of me finding employment where I'm going to get real money, especially rent here in New York, was slim. I don't want to spend the rest of my fucking life working at goddamn Walgreens or Rite Aid or whatever. No offense to those people that do that, but I don't want to do that. So, with me being on this housing voucher the way I am, I felt like, well, my rent is taken care of by this program. It's good for about 5 years. So you know what? If there was ever a time for me to do anything entrepreneurial, this is fucking it. Because the only other time I think we collectively as humans have to do that type of thing is maybe when we're still living at home with our parents. At least for me. Ever since then, when I got to Crown Heights, Brooklyn, and I was staying with a couple of friends, I was working very hard, dealing with asshole customers at Best Buy, Circuit City, Target, Walmart, every fucking retail thing you could think of. I dealt with all sorts of fuckery every fucking day. I just felt like escaping, and I felt like I was made for more than this. So now, just to kind of get away from that, now here I am in this apartment. Basically December 29th, I think it was 2023. And I was like, you know what? I need to start a YouTube channel. I mean, I have a YouTube channel already, but it's something I was doing when I was really young, back when I had hair on my head. And but I was just bullshitting around. Like, I wanted to do something with intent to make money, to grow, build an audience. And that was the plan. But of course, like I said, I got into this apartment 2023, toward the end, basically the ass end of the year. So now we go into 2024, and I literally did not leave the apartment unless I absolutely needed to, all the way up until I say April of 2024, because I was depressed. I can say I was in a depression. I didn't want to do nothing. I think I was close to 250 plus pounds. I was out of shape. I looked awful. I felt awful. And then eventually the conversation for myself picked up again, like, yo, you just got to record something, got to record something. And it's funny because people that know me would know I love being in front of the camera. I love being in front of, I love this. And I was even on MTV one time with a group called Empire Arcadia. It was a gaming group. We were very known in the East Coast, especially in fighting games. And I was in on an MTV show that they did many, many years ago. So I love being in front of the camera, but I guess over the years of me, I guess being reclusive and just losing my confidence, becoming out of shape, being alone in this apartment by myself, first time living alone, having the regret of losing out on what I feel is the best woman that I've ever met, and basically coming to realization that I'm probably gonna fucking die alone. At this point in my life, being 45, I don't really go out. I don't really meet. Like if I meet chicks, if I meet women, maybe the supermarket. But most of the time, I get my groceries, I go to Prospect Park, run around, stay in shape, lift my weights, play my games. That's it. And make these videos. So I don't really put myself out there like I used to. Like I used to go to some clubs, I used to go to the lounges. I don't really do that shit anymore. And I know I'm not chopped liver. I know many women, not to toot my horn, find me attractive, but I don't really put myself out there like that for different reasons. So here I am with all of that being said. I'm here. And then eventually around August 20th, I was like, I'm talking to myself. I'm like, Red, you gotta fucking do something. You gotta get out of this fucking rut. Just sit down, like right here, hit record, and just talk your shit. And that's where, we get I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it next week. And it never happened. So this particular time, I made sure it fucking happened. And eventually I was talking, and the video is still on the channel. It's my first, I think a title is my first YouTube video or something like that. And so the first hurdle was getting monetized. That's the first thing on my list, was getting this channel monetized, because I need to make money. I am not wealthy. I'm not raking in the dough. I get what fuck it, right? Like, I don't think many people are going to see this shit anyway, but basically at the time I was getting $91.50 every 2 weeks thanks to cash assistance. My rent was being paid, but that money I had to split between Con Edison and my cable bill. And I was getting that every 2 weeks. So you figured out, and by the time you draw the money out, you're really only getting $90 because you have to deal with the banking fees or whatever. So I was getting basically $90 every 2 weeks, and I was making it work. I'm a little bit behind in Con Edison, but my cable is kind of all right now. Yeah. So it's been a struggle for me. I expect there's going to be some trolls in this video that's going to talk their shit, probably make fun of me, but that's fine. You know what? At this point right now, I don't give a flying fuck. This is my truth. This is my struggles. And I'm pretty sure those very same trolls would not dare say anything to my face if we were standing across from one another. So I have to kind of keep that in mind. But I digress. So as I'm going through this whole process of being alone, living alone, trying to get this channel monetized, which I ended up doing within, I believe, 9 months, because I started August 23rd. I know I got monetized probably mid-April. Now, for those that don't know, when you do have a channel that's monetized, in order for YouTube to pay you, you have to reach $100 minimum before YouTube will give you that money. So if I made $100 in April, I would get it in May. But if I made $50 in April, that means May comes around, I'm still adding to that to whenever I get up to 100. So, for instance, I got monetized in April. I got my first YouTube payment. I believe it was August, and I think I made a video about that. And it was $103. It wasn't 100 and something dollar, maybe 107, 103. It wasn't much money, but the victory for me was that I made something doing what I love to do, which is being on camera, talking about video games, maybe even inspiring some people to not make my mistakes. And even if you did, or you've made worse mistakes, look at me as somebody that just didn't give up. And so I made a whole other playlist. I think I called it my YouTube journey. I never really expected any of those videos, even to this day, to get any real video viewership. But I felt like the few people that did see those videos, like I'm sure the very few that will see this video, it may help somebody, and that's all that really matters. But since now becoming monetized and having channel memberships and stuff like that, like I'll just put on the screen. Fuck it, right? We're gonna, let's do this. So let me go over to YouTube because I wanna show this. So throughout my whole journey, I realized this is something that I need to do. I need to do this for me because this is something that I really want to do. I want to get better at, and so on and so on and so on. Hold on, I'm just kind of getting the right screen here. So let me put this on OBS if it's not already on OBS, and let me capture the screen. Okay, so this right here. Now, I know I am not a large YouTuber, and I'm asking for help. I am, and this is my first time publicly really asking for help because I was homeless on 3 separate occasions, and I would notice on my Facebook, especially I was on Facebook heavily at the time, people would do GoFundMe's, people would say, share their whole story. And I would watch some people comment their videos and like make a mockery of it. And I was like, I can't do that. So what I would do is I would tell who I thought were very close to me. And even some of those people basically turned their back on me. And to this day, I don't talk to them. But very few people help me. But this is the first time I feel like, you know what? I feel like I can offer some value. And so I made a recent post on YouTube today, but before I did this video, where I was saying, look, a lot of people liked my little Steve Fox video. I made it several months ago. They liked it. I had some really encouraging comments from it, breaking down a character in Tekken 8. And I feel like, it's different when I'm ranting or if I'm giving my opinion on something. But if I'm like breaking something down, sharing my experience, giving analysis, those videos do take time and effort. And I feel like, those videos have value, and I would like to at least be paid for it because I feel like it can help people. And I'm not one of these guys, these big channels that's making thousands and thousands of dollars. Like I'm literally like my next payment right now, I'll be getting October 21st. Right in time for Battlefield 6 and all that other stuff. And currently it's about $172 right now. Not much, but definitely better than my last payment. So there's some improvement. Currently at the time of this video, I have 2 members of these channel memberships. I have one guy currently, he's at the mortal level. And I have another guy, I don't want to say his name. I don't, but he knows who he is. He's at the demigod level. And I didn't really know how to structure these. I just looked at other channels and I was like, what's the best way to do this? So I just gave myself 3 tiers, and I felt like this is something I can build off of over the course of time as more members join. If they join, I can start to fill this out because I have so many ideas, so many content ideas. Like in terms of, I've had people come to my channel say, hey, we want you to break down this particular player. We want you to do this character breakdown. And I'm like, this is a good way, I feel, one aspect of offering that type of value, but at the same time, earning a few dollars for myself. Because like I said, it's just me. I'm a one-man show. And I feel like, I would like to think people have $2 a month, right? I feel, and that's at the low end. Because I've seen other creators, people would join like the lower end tier just to support their favorite creator, and then maybe like the higher, like the $5, $10. And I've seen other channels have like $24 and $50. They get very expensive. So I felt like at the very minimum, I felt like, well, currently I have about 1,600 subscribers, and I thought if most of that 1,600 subscriber base were to be at the mortal level, where basically after YouTube takes their little money, because they take 30%, I'm left with $1.30. So if I had 500 or so people join the mortal level, for instance, I'm gaining at least an extra $500 a month for me to maybe take care of a bill, for me to possibly save up for better equipment, maybe even finally get a desktop or a better laptop, increase the channel quality, like do different things, maybe even get like I have so many ideas, like especially with fitness. I wanted to get like an action camera, but I which I did, but I had to give it back because the cell phone I have is not up to date enough to activate the camera. It's like a really stupid thing that these action cameras have, where you have to activate the camera through your phone. It's a pain in the ass, but I wanted to wear the camera and actually go on my run. So I would like run around Prospect Park, and I would have like a whole series of maybe me running from Brooklyn. Crazy as it sound, but I would try to run from Brooklyn to the Bronx. I would build up for that. I can run from Brooklyn to Manhattan. That's easy. I cross over the bridge. It's no problem. So I wanted to do shit like that. And then maybe while I'm jogging, I'm like talking about whatever. And then you guys are just having a very stable, a point of view. I had all these ideas, and then just kind of maybe even talking about, Tekken and breaking down this character, that character, my thoughts on what went wrong in this particular match, what they could have done differently, break down my own match, So I have these things, and I would so fucking love if people were to actually join some of these memberships, not only just to kind of get a little bit of money for myself, but also it gives me the confidence to know that when I put these videos together, there is already guaranteed people, because they've paid for it, they're going to watch these videos. And I guess that's just kind of how I look at it. So that was my aim. Once I got monetized, let me see what I could do with the channel memberships. So then we have the other things that I want to do, which is sponsorships. I've seen a lot of other creators do it. Even some people that you guys may follow, like maybe Main Man. I'm sure Main Man probably has had or has sponsors. I know, I think Shinblade, my brother from Tennessee, not Tennessee. Was he in Tennessee? I think he's in Tennessee. No, that's Lil Majin. But yeah, Shinblade, really cool guy. I think he's done some sponsorship things in the past. So, and then you got Justin Wong. Of course, everybody knows Justin Wong. So I wanted to be those channels where I can get sponsorship where maybe it can be in the form of like early access, where I can give you guys maybe some early gameplay footage like these other channels and give my take on it, or maybe promo codes for things that I use. You know, I don't want to do shit that I don't fucking use or I don't believe in. So from a fitness standpoint, it would be like cross rope, like because the brand cross rope is, for me, probably the best jump ropes on the market. Certain sauna suits, things of that nature from a fitness standpoint. And then from a gaming standpoint, early access, maybe some games. I could do some giveaways. Like I have like this plan, and I felt like while I'm on this housing voucher, where I do have a lot of time on my hands, I feel like let me try this, because I can, I'm not trying to. Again, I don't want to. I don't want people to pity me, but at the same time, I'm just being very open and honest that I am a guy that struggled, that was an alcoholic before. Hopefully YouTube doesn't put any fucking ads saying, "Oh, if you're struggling with alcohol, whatever." So hopefully they don't. But I worked through that. And this was several years ago. I dealt with depression. I was homeless 3 times. I used to bare knuckle street fight when I was much younger. I've done interesting things in my life. Let's just put it that way. And so I felt like, you know what? Let me try to do this YouTube thing. And so far, I do have several subscribers that I see regularly come up in my comments. You guys know who y'all are. Even in my live streams, now that I'm kind of live streaming a little bit more often, and it's my hope that many of you guys would eventually join one of my memberships, because I see you guys so often. I feel like, it would, like, even if it's like the low end, which is $2, it's $2 for you, but for me, it would mean a lot, because like, again, I used to have this. Well, I do have this saying where if everybody does a little, no one has to do a lot. So again, I feel like I know not all 1,600 plus of my subscribers are going to watch every single video I do. That's bullshit. We already know that. And I know not all of them are going to join anything paid or whatever. But if I can get anybody that is willing to support me, that is willing to, respect me and appreciate how real I am and how authentic I am, because it's been rough. It's been rough. Like even on my birthday, which was September 6th, where I turned 45, I didn't really do much. But thankfully I did have a friend. We did go out. Well, he convinced me to go out to like a Japanese beer garden or something like that. So that was really fun. So I appreciated him for that. He's a stand-up guy. Also a great video game collector. And so shout outs to him. He'll know who he is when I show him this video. And, I didn't even have money for my Game Pass, because I spent what little money I had on the cable bill. And, it's been rough. It's a little embarrassing talking about this, but I'm like, fuck it. I feel the way I look at it, like, is this: if I'm gonna ask total strangers, subscribers, or people to subscribe to my channel, and at the same time ask them to pay for content on my channel, I want you guys to at least know who the fuck you're subscribing to. I think that's important. And I want you guys to know that I take this shit very seriously. Very. Because I'm not living at home with mommy and daddy. Mommy and daddy for me passed away many years ago. Again, my mom when I was 13 years old, and my father when I was 31 years old. So I have very little family left. I have very little family. Very little. And it's kind of difficult to talk about this because I don't want it to come off like I'm fucking begging people, but at the same time, I feel like if I'm going to make video content where I'm really dissecting a particular video game character, or if I'm doing, something of that nature, I feel like that does have value. It's one thing if I'm giving my opinion on something, if I'm ranting about something, I'm talking about Nintendo, or I'm talking about how bad Tekken 8 is and what the devs need to do. That shit, I feel like you can get that anywhere. But I feel like if I'm really doing some in-depth analysis, I'm taking time to break things down. I do feel like, in my opinion, that there is value in that. And I would hope that some of you agree, and that also some of you would decide to take the chance and actually literally join my channel as a paid member. It would mean the world, because like I said, if I had, out of 1,600 people, if I had, like, let's say 800 of you guys, even if it was like the low end, like $1.30 for each of you, for me, that would work wonders, because that's almost 500 something dollars a month for me to do this, do that, set that aside, build on that month after month, maybe advance or enhance my equipment to create better video content for you guys. I could probably maybe even start going to tournaments again. And then I can start showcasing what it is for me to go to tournament. Like, I would do that. I think that would also be great, because then I could start doing like some interviews. I could probably I'm even brainstorming right now. I could be like at a fucking, I don't know, final round or something and interview like Knee or something, and on location, Like, I just think of that type of stuff, and I feel like that would be of value. But I got to start somewhere. And this is why it's so important for me to those times where I show my appreciation to my subscribers, because it's not bullshit. I mean that, because I am well aware that without you as subscribers to watch my content, to everything associated with that, it's just me with a camera lens and a microphone. But it's you guys that give those good comments, or sometimes the good comments, that it's kind of like, all right, so what I'm doing is working. And even recently, I think on my last live stream I did, where I was live streaming for 8 hours. I was completely blown away that much time was going. And there was a gentleman, a religious gentleman. He'll know who he is, because he seems to comment on my videos often. He actually super chatted me $20, $20 fucking dollars. And again, like, when I'm live streaming, I'm usually just looking at the camera or looking at the laptop. So the chat is usually on my phone. So a lot of times I'm not looking at the phone until, like, all right, let me go through it. And then when I saw the $20, that means the fucking world to me, because he didn't have to do that. And then my other channel member, who's been a member for several months now, he knows who he is. And he's very active in my comment section. I believe he sent me, in addition to being a member, which is fucking, I'm greatly appreciative of that. But he also sent me 2 super chats. I think I was live streaming one time and another live stream. So he sent 2 of $5. And he's not even in America. He's like in Korea somewhere. And that means a lot, because in those small moments, it makes me feel like there are people that give a shit. There are people out there that really care about my opinions. Like they have some value. They're entertained. They're informed. They don't mind listening to me yap and complain about the issues I have with Tekken 8, and anything else. And so I'm just hoping that I can build a sizable amount of channel members, so that way, over the course of time, I can make more videos where I'm breaking down certain things. I'm giving analysis on certain things. And I can even go in further depth on fitness for people that want to get in shape. I know maybe I'll probably have to get a different channel for that, and that's fine. But at least for the meantime, I can start really doing that. And because I am a certified personal trainer as well. And I do feel health is very important, especially as a gamer, because there's so many stereotypes with gamers that we tend to be out of shape, unproductive. And I'm looking to shatter that mold. Now, what I will say in terms of employment, like legitimate employment, because I am on HRA and I'm on like food stamps and this housing voucher, I can apply to city jobs, and I have in the past, where the application fee of New York City jobs, the application fee is waived. So I will be applying to, like, let's say if I see MTA train conductor or something like that, or whatever, I'll apply to those because I feel like those do take time. So maybe if for whatever reason, if by the end of these next couple of years I don't make something out of this whole YouTube thing, hopefully, maker willing, maybe I will have landed a city job and then we could just go from there. But I'm hoping that this YouTube thing goes well, because I have so many plans for this. I want to tell you guys, I would like to get a website eventually. Maybe if I'm making some decent money, I'd like to hire some people that can do those fancy thumbnails where I can kind of focus on just the content. I'd like to travel, and just bring you guys like some interviews, and I would love to be able to do that. I just it's one of my dreams, because I am taking this very seriously. And I feel like with all the struggles I've had, and look, I don't want people to say, well, you're not the only one that struggles. I feel like there's going to be somebody that might say that. And look, I understand that there are some people that have it worse than me. Believe me, I know. But I can only speak for myself as somebody who used to bare knuckle street fight when he was 19 years old up to 20 years old, that was 10-2, got knocked out twice, got 3 cracked ribs. And, I did very well in that arena. And maybe a part of me wishes I would have went on to become an amateur boxer. But at that time, I didn't know how to go that route. I didn't know about the licenses, and most of my friends were gamers. So I wasn't in that world. And at this time, I'm far, I'm not in, well, I don't know. Maybe I would do something charity wise, maybe a boxing event. I don't know. That's a whole different story. But yeah, I was homeless 3 separate occasions. I lost an incredible woman due to my own stupidity. I battled and won against alcoholism. I battled and won. Well, actually, the battle still continues with depression, because some days, you live in New York, you're struggling. It could get you. But, and again, and actually not again, but this, speaking on this channel, and to those people that actually give a shit, it is very therapeutic. It does occupy some time, and I learned good skills, and I've gotten, to see several people that comment on my videos often. And of course, you guys know who y'all are if you're watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. So I guess, I'm hoping that, that this video may, if this is like your first time seeing me and you've not seen any of my other content, I do hope that this video has made you not only a subscriber, but also take the chance to at least join one of my memberships, even if it's the fucking $1.99 one. Those little $2 will go a long way for me, in more ways than you can imagine, because I know it's not just one person. It's an accumulation, and that would mean the world. And I would definitely be giving updates. I would be giving financial updates. I'll be giving you guys that are members, if it can grow, I'll be giving you guys ideas as to what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna travel to like whatever event, and it maybe, who knows, maybe this can like really blow up. Who knows? But right now, I am financially struggling, and it is embarrassing to admit. But fuck it, I'm bearing my soul right here. I know some of you guys follow other content creators naturally. Some of you guys follow people that may have an opposing views to me, whether it's political, video game wise, and so forth. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with disagreement. In fact, the absence of debate by nature just results in fighting, results in confrontation. So, whether, my political views may not align with yours, because I know recently I've been talking about the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and I lost several subscribers because of that initial live stream, which it is what it is. Some people come, some people go, but those that remain, I really appreciate you guys. But for the most part on my channel, it is gaming related and fitness related. But if there is something really significant that happens, I have to cover it, you know. But here's hoping that whoever is deciding to watch this, and it's like 47 minutes right now or close to it, I appreciate you greatly. And I guess if anything, you know what, I want to share a few more images of where I've come from. Let me see if I can kind of bring this up. Let me see here. Wait a second. Wait. Okay. So, I'm just trying to get this on OBS. All right. So, let me. All right. Let's capture this. I think no, it's not that. That's my file. Okay. So we have this. I just showed this earlier. So let me just share these other things here. So this right here, when I was in the shelter, you're given a meal ticket. Obviously, I don't want to give away too much information of myself, but yeah, that was my meal ticket, and I gotta say the food there was not the best. Over here, this was before I got into the shelter, so I was literally in Port Authority. Those of you that don't know, it's a major terminal inside. It was a major terminal inside Manhattan. It's a bus terminal. And so this night, I spent, well, it wasn't even the whole night. What I didn't know, all right, so what ended up happening is I'm literally in the bathroom stall, and the door, it's one of those doors that gets really low to the ground, so nobody can really they can't crawl under the door. Like an adult cannot crawl under. So I felt like, okay, I'm safe to kind of sleep here for the night. And I did. I would say it was like around 10 p.m. So I wanted to just get a few hours sleep, and then I heard somebody banging on the door, and I should have realized this. It was maintenance. Maintenance was coming in to clean the bathrooms. So I remember looking at my phone at the time. It was around 2 in the morning. So now I woke up. I'm still half asleep. It's 2 in the morning. I'm like wandering around Manhattan and not knowing where the fuck I was gonna go. So this was before I decided to make the decision to go into the shelter. This right here, this photo, I was in Bank of America. You can see I basically I pretty much have my Nike shirt here. It was kind of chilly at this time. So I was in a Bank of America lobby on Flatbush Extension in Brooklyn. So here I am. I'm laying down on the ground. I found a decent spot for myself. So I went to go to sleep. And unfortunately, I guess security managed to see me and decided to, get rid of me. So around, I think I would like to say it was a little bit after midnight because I had fallen. I actually was in a deep sleep, and a security guard was, kind of like nudging me to leave. And I left. I didn't make an issue about it. I just was like, I apologize, and I'm just having a rough go of it. Again, this is a different angle. Here, I was inside my storage unit, and I just, I don't know what, I was just feeling really fucked up, and I just felt like just taking a picture of myself. And I guess maybe as a reminder to show this is how far I've fallen. I'm literally inside my storage unit trying to get some sleep during the hours that the storage unit was open during the day. This right here was my permanent shelter. This was my bed, actually. I was at a hotel that they converted into a shelter. This was my little bed, twin size. And I had some really odd roommates. I had like a little short Puerto Rican guy that was basically a career. I don't want to say he's a career criminal, but from what I heard, he was in prison for like 20 something years. And the dude was mad loud, mad ghetto, like just ranted and raved all of his business. And then the other guy that was the bed that you could see to the left that was slightly off camera. That guy, he was a Trini. He was from Trinidad. And the only thing with him is that every time he went to sleep, he snored like it was a fucking grizzly bear. So it was like if I didn't go to sleep before him, it was next to impossible for me to get any real rest. So my time there was not bad, but it was annoying. And then this was where I was in the very first video I showed where I said I was going to take things out. I think this is the video. This video right here. I'm not too sure what I was saying in this video, but yeah, it's been quite the journey for me. And that's pretty much it, really. So that's all, I would say. So I'm hoping that over the course of time, when people check me out, check out the videos, I'm hoping that people, I don't know what I can say about this, but let's just say that I've suffered and may not be as worse as some other people that I know, but I'm now in a decent place. I'm trying to get better at content creation, and I'm trying to build up my subscriber base, but also those that will pay for the memberships. I hope that this message reach people positively. I have a couple of video ideas I'm going to get to. Like even in that post I did earlier where I was going to make another Steve guide at the beginner/advanced level. I'm going to probably do that after I finish with this video. And then another guy, he commented, he said Kuma. So maybe I'll try something with that. But yeah, so I'm hoping over the course of the next couple of months that some of you guys will join one of the memberships, and I can start getting the confidence of putting out content specifically that may be of value to you guys. Even live stream. I felt like, you know what, I can live stream me playing ranked on Tekken, for instance, right? This is an idea I have, and I'm really breaking down my own matches, why I've lost, why I won, why my opponent beat me, things I could have done differently. And then also maybe I can play some of my subscribers, even though it might be kind of tough because I'm on Xbox. So it's going to be hard to figure out to communicate with you if you're on PC or PlayStation. But if you're on Xbox, I'm pretty sure we can do like a headset thing or figure it out. but and then I can help you guys one-on-one. I feel like that's a value. So you know, I'm still figuring it out, but I have a lot of ideas. You know, it's approaching an hour for this video. Like I said, I don't expect this video to get a ton of views. I don't even know what I'm even going to title this shit or how I'm going to tag it, but hopefully the algorithm will get this video to you guys at some point in some way. And it, like I said, if you're new seeing this for the first time, don't judge my whole channel on this video. But you know, take a look at some of my other videos, and hopefully I will have earned your subscription and maybe possibly one of your channel memberships. To the subscribers that are already here that are not part of my join memberships or whatever, hopefully you guys, if you guys really want to support me and take it to that next level, hopefully you guys will join one of those as well. So I guess that's about it. I'm gonna finish drinking this water. I'm gonna see about getting started on the Steve Fox video. I'm just gonna post that video directly to my memberships. And I know I could be a little long-winded, but it's only because I try to be as detailed as possible. So again, that's another thing where if I know that somebody is part of the paid channel memberships and they're watching one of those videos, I don't have to be too self-conscious of, am I talking too much? Am I being too detailed? Did they just click off the video after like a minute? So at least I figure, well, if the person's paying for it, they're more than likely gonna watch the shit. So at least that's my thought process. So hopefully, you know, if you guys have any suggestions as to what you would like me to put out there that could be channel membership paid worthy, please let me fucking know. I will seriously consider it and take into consideration. Yeah, and other games that you guys want me to cover where I'm just kind of just giving my opinions. Like I did have a video I wanted to talk about bait and switching in gaming, where I wanted to highlight Ninja Gaiden 4 and the Gears of War franchise specifically. I've done this in my last live stream, but it's somewhere in that 8-hour span, so I don't know who's going to dig for that, but I did feel that it is worthy of its own video. But anyway, I'm hoping this video reaches somebody. Hopefully it might inspire somebody if they're going through a tough time to not give up. If you are a content creator yourself, hopefully it'll give you confidence to ask your subscribers for the help that I'm asking mine. And I do hope that for those of you that do want to support me, like really like go that extra mile, it would mean a lot, because like I said, all I get right now is just a little bit of money I may get from a fitness client that I may train, a little bit of money from HRA, but most of that goes to my electric bill and my cable bill. Sometimes I don't even have money to even pay for my Game Pass membership. And I am looking for work, but it's just, I know depending on how much money I make on the books, it will alter my city FEPS arrangement with my rent. So I'm really being careful with how I work that. And then I deal with my landlord, and he's kind of odd because he be trying to fucking raise the rent, and I'm like, you know, like I live like I came in. Anyway, that's another story. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, but there's a lot going on. And I guess that's about it, man. So we're approaching almost an hour. I don't want this to go past an hour. So I think if anybody actually watched this video from start to finish, I really appreciate it. And if you did that, I hope that if you're not a member, hopefully you'll join one of the memberships. And you know what? Fuck it. Let me just do this one last thing, because people might be like, well, I don't know how to do this. So let me just go and just show. Let me make sure it's on. Let me put this. Okay, here we go. All right. So I'm just going to make sure OBS is showing my screen. So if I were to go to, say, YouTube, right? Like you go to YouTube like you normally would. If you go to my channel, right? View my channel, right? For you, it will show join channel, but for me, it doesn't show that. So it should show it like a right around here. Or honestly, if I were to just, let me just do it as a guest. Fuck it. Let me just get the full experience. So we're just going to go, I'm just going to do it as a guest. Yeah, there we go. So you should see this right here. So you should see this join button. So when you click this, and then you have the choices here, and that's basically all it is. For those that may not know how to do it or whatever. But anyway, I guess with that being said, I'm out of here. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm gonna get started on the Steve Fox video. I'm gonna put some real effort into this, and we'll see. Again, I hope you guys will join, and because it'll help me out a lot, and hopefully my channel can continue to grow. I guess that's about it. Anyway, take care. Peace.